So my name's Professor Yusuf Saddiq. I'm a professor of physiology with specialization in neuroscience. And some of my work have evolved around mental health, mostly around anxiety and depression. But currently, I am the Vice Chancellor of Ugandan Technological and Management University, and also do some work for the Women Hospital here at Bukoto. But also on the side, I also work very closely with Life Redefined International, an NGO that looks after the most vulnerable people in society that are more likely to be exposed to activities that might lead them to develop mental health disorders. But we felt it was necessary to talk to you about looking after your mental health, especially during this COVID-19 or coronavirus outbreak. And felt this is very, very important because as we are all staying at home, like I am doing right now, actually I'm talking to you from my home, I'm self-quarantined, we're going to have a lot of problems that may impact on our mental health activities. So this is going to be the first series of a number of features we're going to run. In this series of features we're going to be broadcasting from time to time. We're going to have some psychiatrists that will come to talk specifically about the mental health symptoms, what leads to them, depression, and all that. Because we know that during infectious disease outbreaks, like the current COVID-19 pandemic, it can be scary and it can also affect your mental health. Why it is important to stay informed, there are also many things that we can do to support and manage our well-being, especially during this time. So today I'm going to focus on symptoms of depression and anxiety and what we can do during this period in order to minimize them. But the first thing you need to ask yourself first is, what is anxiety? Usually anxiety is your body's natural response to stress, okay? It's a feeling of fear or apprehension about what is to come. I think that's the most basic of the layman definition of what anxiety is fear of the unknown. And some of the symptoms that usually come with anxiety, usually there's increase in heart rate when you feel your heart pumping very, very fast, more than usual. Rapid breathing, respiration, restlessness. You have trouble in concentrating and also trouble in sleeping. So if you have these symptoms right now, this is a normal response to what is currently happening. But usually, when these feelings goes beyond 2-3 months, we advise to go and see a psychiatrist to probably diagnose what's wrong with you. Then the other thing that we also will be discussing will be depression. And next question is, what is depression? Usually depression is classified as a mood disorder in the sense that it may be described as a feeling of sadness, a feeling of loss or anger, or anything that interferes with your day-to-day activities, your response. So it's not directly opposite of anxiety, but you can have both at the same time. You can have anxiety and depression at about the same time. Research shows that anxiety and depression occur in about 30% of people that have mental disorders. How do you look after your mental health while you stay at home like I'm doing right now? How do you remain positive? Because you have symptoms like similar to anxiety and mood disorders. So how do you avoid that? So I'm going to take you through number of steps which are also recommended by WHO and also UNICEF, and things that we must do. Number one, try to avoid speculation. Try to look at reputable sources on the outbreak. And what are these reputable sources? Ministry of Health, WHO websites, reputable news outlets. A lot of us rely on social media. Unfortunately, a lot of misinformation has spread around social media every day that may cause us unnecessary anxiety or even depression. Like, for example, you will hear, oh, there are 10 more cases at Mulago. Oh, there are 20 more cases at Mbarara National Referral Hospital. Oh, they've discovered 20 cases. Oh, Uganda is locking down. All of these are spread through social media. But if you listen carefully to daily briefing of Ministry of Health, reputable news outlet, your level of anxiety will come down. Because when you keep getting posts, forwarded messages on your phone, social media, you get apprehensive. And that can interfere with your stay at home, quarantine, as most people would call it, like most of us are doing right now. So apart from trying to avoid speculations, you have to also stay connected to your friends, to your family. Like if you hear an outbreak in a town that where your loved one is, you call them, are you quarantined? Pass on the information that is being passed on to everyone. If you have children like I do, talk to your children. Let them realize why they are at home, why they are out of school. Because it's important that at this period that children should understand why they can't go and play with their friends, why they can't go to the shopping malls, why they can't go to the parks to play as they usually do when they're on holidays. Because as far as they are concerned, they are on holiday. So why can't they go to the park like they used to do? Like my children usually ask me, when are we going to Akasha Mall? When are we going to the Munyonyo Beach? And I have to explain to them why they can't go at this time and why they can't go and play football with their friends at this time. My son likes football very much, but he can't go and play football now because of social distancing. So we talk to our children to let them know why they are where they are right now. Then the next thing we need to also do to remain healthy, mentally healthy, is try to anticipate distress. You're going to get sad news. You're going to get news that may not be very pleasant. Your friend is going to contract the virus. Your workmate, your lover, they may contact this virus. So expect the unexpected. Expect that someone close to you will have the virus, but that means that that's not the end of life. The mortality, you know that the mortality rate compared to the virus is very, very minimal, for example. So you try to anticipate distress so that when you hear the news, you will not go on overdrive, okay? And then also, the next point I want to talk about, try to make assumptions. It's important. What if? What if? What if it comes to my apartment? What if it comes to my neighborhood? What am I supposed to do? How do I break the chain of transmission? And this is why you must avoid speculation. You must look up to reputable sources of information. It's very, very, very key. So try to make assumptions. And by making those assumptions, then you will take preventive measures. You may be the one that will probably break the link, break the chain of transmission. That's why it's important to anticipate. And then the sixth point that I would like to make is try also to manage how you follow the outbreak in the media. Life does not start and end with coronavirus. You have other things to do. You stay on your social media, on your news channel 24 hours, you are going to get all kinds of conflicting information. It's important that you try to do other things at home. Get yourself busy. There are things you can do that will take your mind off coronavirus for a while you try to live your normal life as it should be. If you are among the group that needs to go to work to keep the economy going, of course, you have to concentrate on your job. I had colleagues from office. They're at work. Oh, look at this post, Professor. What do you think about it? I've seen those posts where they have been advised, for example, to take alkaline diet, that the alkaline diet kills the virus. That is hogwash. Your body has a means of normalizing its pH to 7.4. So if you take acidic diet, alkaline diet, before it gets into your system, your body will normalize it to pH 7.4. So work done is 0. And they were told to stay in a hot environment, drink hot water. Come on. This will all distract you. So that's why I said, so in order to maintain your mental health, try and do about 6 things. Avoid speculation. Stay connected. Talk to your children. Anticipate distress. Make assumptions. Manage how you follow news media about the outbreak. Okay? So I believe if as adults we do this, we should be able to keep our mental health in good condition as we go through this outbreak. The outbreak will end at one time. Yes, it will, but we have to find a way to remain healthy and remain mentally alert and active, so that by the time the virus it's over, the outbreak is over, we can pick up our life once again and try to pick up the pieces and to move on.